there will be panel of almost 10 plus people.
Oh,
So
okay.
including a clinical psychologist who will be studying your body language also. So it will be a group of people, and first time when somebody from a civil background enters the room, it will be like a bone chilling thing. Oh my God, what are these people doing there?
So,
At 4 a.m. you'll wake up, you'll be running 5 kilometers, you'll be in trance, you don't know your legs are running, you'll be in some other place. First, think about the armed forces when our patient clientele is not only the armed forces personnel, their families also. There are medical fitness on your signature. You are responsible for a person, whether he is battle worthy or not. You will sign it,
mhm,
and you are responsible for him. If his BP is on the higher range, if you make him fit for high altitude, there is a huge chance he will end up in a stroke. डॉक्टर साहब, अगर आपको पता नहीं चलेगा ऊपर हमारे साथ क्या होता है, आप दवाई कैसे देंगे? सो दैट वाज हिज आंसर. सो
okay.
डॉक्टर्स आर expected and trained in such a way they should be ready to kill as well as ready to heal. That kind of person ना, luxury जिसको पसंद है, बहुत सारे doctors they are like, I love luxury, I like, that kind of job, where I'll go, I'll just treat patient. No, then armed forces is not for you.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Geeky Pod with Manas. So, in our podcast, we mainly talk about various career opportunities and career options. So, keeping up with that same continuation, today we have a guest who is going to enlighten us about various aspects of Indian Army and Indian Air Forces. Today, we have talked about various ways one can get enrolled into Indian Air Force if you are into the medical profession, if you are a doctor. We have also talked about various training options or training aspects that happens into Indian Army and how deployment happens into various areas and various other aspects related to Indian Air Force. So please join me in welcoming Squadron Leader Dr. Sayandeep Saha, retired, in this podcast. Thank you. Enjoy the podcast.
Tell me about yourself. I already know that you were there in Indian Air Force now as a medical professional. So, for our audience, you let us know what you did in the Indian Air Force and all about you, what you did in your career so far.
Yeah, sure, it will be a pleasure of mine. First of all, let me say I'll start from the very beginning. I've done my schooling from Ramakrishna Mission in Agartala, and I have done my 10th and 12th from there. After that, I have completed my MBBS in 2016. That is 15, I passed out, and 2016 I completed my internship from Tripura Medical College in Agartala only, in Tripura. Immediately after internship, I went to Delhi.
Mhm.
That time it was a common notion from my senior. What I saw was, पहले आपको करना है MBBS, then you have to run to a great place like Delhi, where you have to do your junior residency, so that you can first of all earn some kind of good amount of, you can get exposure of a good college, because as an intern you get to know little bit of everything, but as a junior resident you are more responsible. So for the junior residency part, I went to Delhi, and the hospital I worked was Aruna Asaf Ali Hospital, which is also the old police hospital. There I worked in emergency, mainly in emergency and in Department of Medicine for 7 months. And while doing my residency, me and my wife now and fiance then, we decided we should be joining armed forces. And it was actually my plan, because armed forces is something which was very close to me. In class 7, if I am not wrong, yeah, in class 7 I got selected for RIMC. There's a school in
Mhm.
Dehradun. But as you know, our families, when you are a single child, you are not supposed to explore adventurous thing. You have to go to good school, you have to do homeworks, and you have to do all the things that are supposed to be done by a good guy. So finally, I was not given the opportunity to go to RIMC in class 7. So since then, it was, kind of a dream. So finally, I was actually not aware that a doctor can also join in armed forces medical, services. So my wife explored everything, and she was like, "Nahi, matlab GRship is something, you get a contractual period of for 1 year." So she told me, let's explore this option also. And subsequently, she filled all the forms and everything. And I first attempted in Delhi itself, if I'm not wrong. No, I first attempted in Kolkata. In Kolkata, I was selected. My wife also got selected. I also was selected for army. But during the preparation time now, I discussed with one of my senior. He's still now in armed forces. He was in Air Force, so I visited his place, and Air Force was something more lucrative than army. So in that time, I was like, no, I have to. If I have to join, I will join armed forces in Air Force wing only. And for those who don't know the structure, let me tell you in very brief what happens in medical services. There is a Army Medical Services, Army Medical Corps, which is basically umbrella. In Army Medical Corps, there is division for Army, Navy, and Air Force. So the seats are distributed. Army get the maximum number of doctors, then Navy, and subsequently Air Force, because the structure is similar to that. So there is no separate. If somebody who is watching our discussion, some maybe some doctor, if he or she wants to join army or navy or air force, it is not like he or she will be given that one. Depending upon your interview, depending upon the available seats, and depending upon your merit, you will be selected.
Okay.
First of all, you'll be selected in Army Medical Corps. It is the parent umbrella. After that, it is distributed. You are seconded. The army term is you are seconded to Air
Okay.
Force or Navy. Primarily, you will be in Army Medical Corps. Then you will be seconded to Air Force or Navy. So subsequently, I was not selected in Air Force in Kolkata. So I was like, okay. And in the same setting, my wife was selected. She was selected, and she was then medically made unfit for her eyesight. There was some
Okay.
issue with her eyesight, so the corneal thickness and everything. There's a very strict medical examination prior to this secondment or this army this first integration into the army. There's a primary medical, and it is very strict. So I'll come to that in subsequent discussion. So after that, what happened was I went back to Delhi, and after 1.5 months, again the interview came. So that time I went for the interview in Kolaba in Mumbai. There's a beautiful hospital in Ashwini. There's a beautiful
Mm.
hospital. So there I gave the interview and successfully cracked it. So then I was commissioned in Air Force, and my first posting was in Delhi, Western Air Command,
Okay.
which is in Subrata Park.
Mm-hmm.
So Subrata Park is very close to Dholakua airport area. So there I was commissioned, and I worked there for almost 2 years. Then my second posting was in Eastern Air Command, again a headquarter which is located in Shillong.
Mm-hmm.
And my third posting was in third. I'll say the last. Actually, I retired. Now I'm an ex-serviceman. So my last posting was in Chennai Avadi.
Okay. Okay.
So after
So,
that, this was my short and crisp military career. After that, I joined Tata Hospitals for 4 months, and subsequently, now I am pursuing my surgery residency. I am in first year in Armed Forces Medical College, Pune.
okay. Okay. Quite a illustrious career you had. Right. So,
It's just like a roller coaster ride.
exactly. So, you mentioned that you appeared for one exam, right? So, how is it different from normal exam patterns or application procedure that any individual has to undergo while applying for Indian Air Forces or any army for that matter?
Understood. I'll rephrase your question, because an individual, I am not quite aware of the individual thing. I am aware of the fact, for a doctor, if he or she wants to join, I can guide the process, because I have also been to the same process. And most importantly, one important information is this whole process is changed almost every year. So
Mhm.
I don't know whether this video will be relevant when it will come out for people who are going to apply next year or in 2024. So what I have been through was I saw interview kind of a poster, came in a paper in it was in Times of India, and it is like all the online portals where you seek job and all the upcoming interviews. In simply you Google na armed forces AMC medical officer job or something like that, they will give the approximate date. So in all the newspaper it will come out, all the national newspaper it will come out. Number one. Number two, if you have a the best thing is if you have a friend in army, then he will give you the information just in time. And simply if you are very much eager to join armed forces, so it is the best ways to find out online. You just Google it, you'll get it, on new armed forces medical officer opportunity or some kind of thing. It will come out eventually, it will pop out. And the first thing is they have a lot of forms and everything you have to send by via post. You have to send it. Then if your documentation is verified, they will call you for the interview. And on the interview day it will be you will be choosing your venue. For example, this time, for example, if today is the interview, 1 month back they will be telling you the interview is in XYZ place. So you have to book your tickets and stay everything, you have to go there. You have to deposit all the documents. Eventually they will call you for the interview, and there is no
Mhm.
written test. I repeat, there is no written test for doctors. It is totally on interview. My interview in both the occasion was around 1 hour, 1.5 hours. For a good amount of time, they will ask you questions, not regarding medical things. They will start with your family, with your background, why army, and all this kind of basic questions they will ask. And eventually, there will be panel of almost 10 plus people.
Oh,
So,
okay.
including a clinical psychologist who will be studying your body language also. So it will be a group of people. And first time when somebody from a civil background enters the room, na, it will be like a bone chilling thing. Oh my God, what are these people doing there? So you'll be sitting at the end of a very long table, and you'll be asked question from all of them. So it will be around 1 hour, and during that process, it is like a yes or no grade. You come out, you wait for half an hour. They'll be like, you are selected for next step. You are not selected. If you are not selected, grab your bag and come out. If you are selected, then wait there for the next instruction, which will be the next day will be the medical. Why next day? Because obviously for this empty stomach and everything, they will be called next day. There will be thorough medical check, including head to toe, every examination possible in
Mhm.
basic setup. Everything will be done, and from there, either you are fit or you are unfit. Now you are, if
Mhm.
you are unfit, it will be a temporary unfit or permanent unfit. For example, uh, somebody has a just he has a fracture of one of his bone. Now he's temporary unfit for that medical purpose because he had a fracture, and he will be given the option to reappear to the test, medical test, after 6 months in any service hospital. And if somebody has a flat foot or a knock knee, these are conditions that will not be corrected over time, so they will be made permanently unfit. For example, for my wife, the corneal thickness was not up to the prescribed format. It was less than that because she had undergone the LASIK. So
Mhm.
for that, she was made permanently unfit. So
Okay.
these are the things, very integrate minute things they look for, for the medical things. And once you are fit, then you'll be given a kind of 60 days time. I'm just forgetting, it was 45 or 60, some kind of time period. And in between they will be giving you a posting order also. In between it will come via post, and you have to join that unit.
Okay, so between the letter which is given to you, appointment letter, let's say,
Yeah,
and the day of joining, in between there is no training, or after joining
there
only
is no
training
training.
start.
There is no training, and for that 1 month you are lost. You are like you are in self doubt. क्या मैंने सच में क्लियर किया है, ये फेक तो नहीं था, चिट्ठी आएगा कि नहीं. तो you'll be somewhat confused in between.
Okay. So after joining, what kind of training is given to that individual? Or for you, what kind of training was given?
Okay. See, immediately after joining, there is no training. In the first day, you'll be going, you'll be lost, you'll be wearing all the ranks. You don't know how to salute. In the first day was horrible for me because, I don't have any exposure in my family. I don't know the hierarchy. What my knowledge had regarding FOs is from the senior that I was talking to and from YouTube. So I went and I was like, okay, let's see. Only thing I was confident that I know the medical part. I know how to treat. The other things
Hmm.
I don't know. And trust me, people don't expect you to know also. They will
Okay.
guide you through and through, from how to stand, how to eat, how to greet, how to salute, how to see. You are an officer, so you have all the decorum to maintain. You are supposed to be, way above other people. So these all things are taken care of by your colleagues, by your
Hmm.
seniors, by immediate seniors. So basically for 1 month, there's a on job kind of training. For 1 month it is like daily you get to know what are the things needs to be done, which vehicle you have to go, what are the things you are not supposed to do. So these are the things that will be taught. But what is most important is you have to very open to everything, because this is a very new arena to you. So you have to be open. You have to be, like a forever student. You have to understand that these are the things I have to learn. So you'll be in 1 month. You'll be completely aware of the surroundings, what you have to do, kind of thing. The basic main training comes, that may come within immediately also within first 6 months also. And for my case it came after almost 5.5 month. It is called
Okay.
medical officer basic course, MOBC is medical officer basic course. For that course, there's a institution which is very very old. It is officers training college in Lucknow. So
Hmm.
there we have to go there, we have to report there, and it is like a proper ragra, that is proper army training that you see in movies. That kind of training. At 4 a.m. you'll wake up, you'll be running 5 kilometers, you'll be in trance, you don't know your legs are running, you'll be in some other place. So this is a hectic schedule of 7 weeks. For us it was 7 weeks. Yeah, 7 weeks. Now again the tenure most probably has reduced to 5 weeks. I have to check again, because these are the tenure, and these all planning, these get changed every year. This get changed. For us it was 7 weeks, and the place was in Lucknow. In Lucknow, I did my MOBC in winters, so Lucknow ke thand. Oh, ho, ho. So, but it was a very, very, very good experience. You get to know about how to do the basic parade. You get to know how to fire a rifle, fire a gun. First time in your life, you are totally excited about it, and you first get the opportunity to learn these things. And from a guy, or from a boy to an officer, this
Hmm.
transition takes place in Lucknow.
Okay.
Once you come out of Lucknow OTC, you are an officer, and you are supposed to know all the basics of armed forces. Then you become a soldier first, a doctor second.
Okay. So, as a doctor in armed forces, how is your practice that you do differ from a civilian doctor than an armed doctor? How is it different?
See, first of all, in armed forces, we have to first think about the armed forces when our patient clientele is not only the armed forces personnel, their families also. So
Mhm.
if I have to deliver my medical practices, my medical wisdom to people, I have to make their family also fit, and I have to cater for themselves also, so that they are fit for their duties. I'll come to the main clinical part first, then I'll go to the administration, later on. In the first, there are medical fitness on your signature. You are responsible for a person, whether he is battle worthy or not. You will sign it,
Mhm.
and you are responsible for him. If his BP is on the higher range, if you make him fit for high altitude, there is a huge chance he will end up in a stroke. He'll There's a huge chance he'll end up in some kind of adversary, medical adversary. He will not be a potentially 100% fit soldier, which we require
Correct.
in field. So your responsibility is very, very crucial to make somebody fit or not fit. And if you are like, I'll not make fit anybody, then you'll not find fit soldiers in the front line. So you are that filter between diseased person and a healthy soldier. You are the main filter in ground, first of all. Second is, if somebody's family is not healthy, not fit in the family accommodation where they are staying, that person will be not mentally fit to fight. He will be always preoccupied with the fact that my mother is ill, my father is ill. So you have to be that that friend of that person who is fighting for you, for your motherland. You have to be friend of that person, and you have to make him understand, okay, your family is in my responsibility. So you go, you do your duty, and rest assured, your family medical responsibility is mine. So this is very, very delicate, very at time very strict, and very, we have to be very, very, very responsible and on our toes, because there are n number of duties other than this also are assigned to us. But obviously our primary duty is to make the troop fit for fighting.
Okay. So, one generic question: since you joined Indian Air Forces, so normally in movies or series we see that normally people who are there in Indian Air Forces, they fly the aircrafts. That
Yeah.
so as a trainee, did you also get a chance to do that? And
Yeah,
how?
luckily, there's another course for doctors that is in our IFA, that is in Dundigal, Hyderabad. So AFA Air Force Academy, not IFA, sorry, AFA Air Force Academy in Dundigal. There, we got an opportunity to fly the Pilatus, that is the training aircraft.
Okay.
So, you go with a trained pilot, you sit behind him, and he will do all the maneuvers and everything. And why for a doctor it is essential? Because I also asked the same question, because I was really excited to go, with the pilot. But at the same time, I was like, why government is, this much of resources? Flying a aircraft is a costly phenomena, right? So why they are doing it for us? I was very, I wanted to know. So basically they told, डॉक्टर साहब, अगर आपको पता नहीं चलेगा ऊपर हमारे साथ क्या होता है, आप दवाई कैसे देंगे? So that was his answer. So ultimately it was a great, uh, there are few memories in your life which you cannot buy with money. So this is one of a kind experience. And definitely when you fly with a fighter, na, you realize the amount of negative G forces against him. He is flying, his physiology will be changing, his blood pressure will change, his, there is a lot of adrenaline rush. We
Correct.
all are happy because we today, whenever we go outside, we know we are going for particular XYZ job. We'll be coming back, we'll be having our dinner at home. But trust me, if I tell you, you have to sit on a chair that is going to blast anytime, then your attitude towards life will be different. And that is what every fighter pilot feels every day. He goes out in the morning sortie, and he never knows whether he'll come back or not. He's so this is kind of, the life you cannot discuss, or you cannot understand by looking at a movie. It is when you sit in his chair, now you realize what kind of, adrenaline rush it is. And it is a huge experience. It cannot be expressed in words.
Right. So, I mean, this may be a little controversial. It's okay if you don't want to answer it. It's like nowadays we see in the news like some of the trainee pilots crash land and they die. So
Okay.
this maybe from every sphere of the Indian Air Force training. Like it may have happened with you also or someone else who has joined. So as you mentioned, there is a trained pilot at the front, and as a trainee, you sit at the back. So how does it happen? Is it because of various factors, maybe?
See, first of all, whether anything, if you simply go and just cook an omelette, there is a chance there'll be more salt.
Right.
Do you intentionally do it? No,
No.
it is quite an accident. Similar thing, a trainee pilot, it is very easy, to sit and discuss के यार उस पायलट ने एक्सीडेंट कर दिया, या फिर this why, typical controversial question, why Air Force is flying MiG-21, a flying coffin, this that all kind of thing. See, for a doctor to answer these things, it is, first of all, it is way out of my league to know the nitty-gritties of this. Second of all, a doctor is never taught to fly. He is
Mhm,
he is taken into the aircraft to make him realize what pilot is feeling.
mhm.
So it is not, we are not, maneuvering the flight. We are just sitting there and taking a roller coaster ride just to understand, under negative pressure and under negative G, what kind of, physiological changes body, happens.
Right.
Number two. Number three is, when the training word comes with a thing, there will be a guide, there will be a student. And there,
Mhm,
when there is a student, there is always chance of mistakes. And we are talking about, machines with n number of uh, things which may go wrong multiple times. Every second they may go wrong. So if somebody is, crashing, or somebody is going down, definitely there must be something which is wrong. But sitting at home and telling it, okay, who is responsible for it and what has gone wrong, will be very childish on our part, what I can
right.
believe. And but trust me, if you want to know, you just wait for a, maybe 6 months, because there is always a court of inquiry. Court of
Mhm,
inquiry is a process where, a group of people who are not linked to the, uh, that particular incident will be called. They will be doing their independent, investigation. They will put up a report, and generally this report comes to public also. If somebody, some crashes, you can go back in
mhm.
newspapers also, this report comes. So it will be very childish on our part to, presume कि इसका ही गलती होगा या उसी का गलती
Right.
होगा. This is very childish on our part. So we'll wait for the court of inquiry report, and definitely we'll get to know the answers.
Right. So, coming to your responsibility that you had in Indian Air Forces, right? So you mentioned you had to take care of the uh, personnel, army personnel, as well as their families. So, other than
Yeah.
that, did you have the chance to interact with the civilians? Go help them in various situations. Maybe there is a flood situation, so you go and help because you are posted in that area, and maybe
Yes,
at
yes.
some other. Yeah.
See, my experience during my tenure in Delhi, I was posted. I was on TD. TD is like a, temporary duty, is like deputation. So I was sent to Thois. Thois is a place which is the last airstrip India have, the biggest airstrip. After that, there is no airstrip per se.
Mhm,
So that is the, the last point where the main aircraft, cargo aircraft, can go. After that is the
mhm,
Siachen base camp. So I was there for 20, 21 days. So there, what I saw was, the civilian people are totally dependent on the Air Force setup, and there's an army
mhm,
hospital also. So that time we used to do camps, we used to do, emergency. There was a flash flood before I went there. There was a flash flood 7 days back. So when I went there, there was three or four patients who were admitted in Toys MI room. MI room is a medical
mhm,
room, that is a small SMC, Station Medical Center. So they were admitted there. They used to get free of cost treatment from the Air Force and the Army Authority. So whenever in this kind of location now, where there is no other help other than military always help the local people. It is like they will not wait for a flood or natural calamity. It is on a normal day-to-day activity for them. In civil setup, in Agartala, if you cannot go to an MH and tell ke mujhe dikhana hai kind of thing, because you have all the options, you have all the setups. But if it would have been Siachen, or let it be not Siachen, it will be Thoes also. There is no other setup. Military always opens its door for Indian citizen.
Right. So the same question, just extending to it. So resource-wise, in terms of medical equipments and medical facilities, how different it is from the army hospitals and the general hospitals?
See, again, it will be not wise to compare, because in the civil setup, you just go to GB hospital here and you will realize the amount of load. That is not in the case of army. And in army, it is always, echelon based. There's a lower echelon, there's a higher echelon, and the final echelon. For example, right now I am in Armed Forces Medical College in Pune. So you will get all the state of the art setup in Pune. You will get all the robotic surgery, everything. There's AFMC is one of the colleges which has few colleges in India which have done heart transplant also. So you will get all the setups in AFMC. But in ground, you will get all the necessary things that is required to save a patient. You will get all the necessary things. It will be not like you will get heart transplant machine in forefront. You will not get, but obviously it's a step up wise for the small setup. Whatever, see, it is a very organized forces. Armed forces are very organized in certain things. They will look into the monthly maintenance figure. They will look into basic minute details. Okay, for last 5 years, what are the drugs that has been required, what are the drugs that has been lacking, which should be given there. So there is always a team of members who will be looking in. There are inspections, there are audits, there are continuously self checks that are going on. And so ultimately, I'll not say you'll get abundant of all the things in army setup, but I'll say you will get the optimum things. Whatever is required will be there in the medical emergency room. Let it be in the LOC, let it be in the uh, highest center, that is in RR or AFMC.
Right. So any memorable incident that you have during your tenure that you served in the armed forces that you carry with your life on?
Yeah, see, the most important thing I'll cherish will be my uniform, first of all. Second, I remembered one incident during our MOBC, that is in Lucknow days. There are parade. The parade you see in 23rd, 26th of January in the TV. So similar kind of parade we have inside the campus for all the doctors who are pass out, who will be passing out in that time. For example, in our time it was 107 or 8 doctors we passed out together. So that particular course, MOBC 218. So that parade, I commanded one of the contingent with Air Force uniform with the sword. And from a civil background, when you get to hear your name, Squadron Leader Sayandeep Saha is झांकी का कप्तान, Squadron Leader Sayandeep Saha इसको संभालते हुए आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, you get goosebumps, and those kind of emotion na you cannot express. You simply cannot express. I remembered in class 7, I was in Netaji school that time in class 7. So in it's a kind of Agartala thing. In the morning, 23rd January, you dress like something and come out in the road, morning procession or something. So that time I wore a army uniform, and that day I remembered, okay, no, now I am really wearing this uniform, and that was a really goosebump moment for me, and it was a good feeling.
Definitely. Now, post Indian Air Force days, now we are retired, right? So,
Yeah.
so what is the hierarchical rank in Indian Air Forces as a medical professional person once you join?
See, medical professional person, first of all, if you are doctor, if you are not a doctor, if you are not a doctor, if you want to join Air Force, so you'll be joining as a normal trainee. and then you will be selected if you have a basic medical, physiotherapy degree or radiology assistant degree, this kind of thing. You will be taken as a medical assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be, and it's a non-officer rank. You are, other ranks. So in officer rank, you'll be commissioned as an officer, and the word commissioning means President of India will sign it for you. Okay, I
Oh,
hereby sign Flight Lieutenant Sayandeep Saha, Squadron Leader Sayandeep Saha should be commissioned as an officer in Indian Air Force. So it's a
okay.
parchment letter which you get after 5 years. So coming back to the commission thing, so you'll be commissioned if you are in Air Force, you'll be commissioned as a flight lieutenant. If you are in Army, you'll be commissioned as a captain.
Okay.
But the thing is, for AFMC graduates, they already for AFMC, particularly AFMC, they when they do the internship, they are commissioned there. So there is another rank for them, lieutenant rank for army, and flying officer in internship they get. But for civilian candidates like me, for who has done the MBBS from outside, they will be directly joining as a flight lieutenant.
So
And
you have
the first promotion is squad leader, and after, if I'm not wrong, 9 years, it will be wing commander. That is the you can simply Google it, and all the stripes you can see.
fine. So now that you are retired and you are associated with Tata Group of Hospitals, and which is a very
I
good
was
name.
associated with Tata.
Oh, now you are not. Okay. Okay.
No, now I am doing my PG, post graduation in surgery, in AFMC, again with the army.
Oh, okay. Fine. So what was your experience with Tata Group of Hospitals? That also. How is it?
See, Tata Group again, I was simply, uh, very happy to work with the Tata Group, because my job profile in Tata Hospital, first of all, I joined Jamshedpur. I went in Jamshedpur for training for around 14-15 days of training. After that, I was in Joda. Joda is a place in Orissa, which is very interior place. It is
Hmm.
like only mining, the whole place is totally dealing with mining. And every other company is working there, JSW, I don't know, even some names, small companies, they are working there. But only Tata is having a full-fledged functional hospital with specialists, and
Okay.
the amount of patient load there you cannot even imagine. Let it be trauma, because that area road connectivity is very poor, and whenever there is poverty, there will be addiction problem, and typically that area, I was very touched with the patient. People don't have money, but they had luxury to drink and do all kind of ruckus they used to do. But at the end of the day, only there was Tata Hospital, which was serving almost a 50-kilometer radius. And that hospital was strategically located around 2 to 2.5 hours from Jamshedpur. So that hospital not only catered for Tata employee, but also for all the localites, free of cost, almost free of cost. They used to charge 10-20 rupees, something or like that, but it was almost like free of charge. And yeah, that was a very good experience. People say, Tata is a good group. People say Tata is one of the, I mean, Tata is known for philanthropy and everything, but experiencing it firsthand is a different, all of a all together is a different experience. And yeah, it was really a great decision to join there, although it was a
Right.
very short and crisp tenure of 4 months approximately. Because I was lucky to get through this NEET exam and go to this, AFMC for this PG, which I'm right now pursuing. But at the same time, I'll say it was a very good experience at the uh, deep root India you can see there. It is very shocking to realize that this kind of people are suffering up to that level. It is very much, difficult experience for me in that.
Right. Okay. So now that you are retired, so what are the life lessons that will carry forward that you still practice in your day-to-day practice or study that you are doing, that you have got in Indian Air Force training or during your tenure in armed forces?
There are many things I have to list. First of all, I'll say punctuality, which is a basic thing. We all, advise each other. We have to be punctual, but armed force is such a place where if you are not punctual, you will get all the, dose from your seniors. So it is kind of embedded in you कि अगर 7 बजे जाना है तो पौने 7 बजे वहां पहुंचना है. तो
Mm-hmm.
that is the thing, punctuality is very crucial thing, which I believe is very essential, not for just doctors or armed force personnel. It is for everyone. It gives a, you know good start to anything which is going to start on that particular
Right.
time. Number one. Number two, I'll say the sense of responsibility, because being a armed forces, in air force officer, you are supposed to be responsible for certain things which are being assigned to you. And gradually, see, responsibility is something, we all are responsible for certain things which are assigned to us, but to complete the thing, to complete the loop, for example, today we have to do the podcast. We connected one day prior, we completed the thing, and there is a completion report. Okay, things are done and dusted, edited, it is uploaded in the whatever social media platform you are going to do. So we have to complete the loop. So this kind of attitude helps to complete the job without nagging. For example, यार वो खराब था, internet खराब था, speaker नहीं है, headphone नहीं है, this all kind of things, we we get all the lesson, on job training, you can say that thing.
Mhm.
The sense of responsibility is very crucial. And definitely I'll say, in medical profession you will be a very very good doctor. Why I'll say in armed forces? Because in armed forces you don't have to please anyone. It is
Mhm.
all about following the SOP. Whichever SOP is written, you have to follow it. And medical profession is like following SOPs. We don't create medication, or we don't create standardized procedure every day. If
Right.
there is a treatment which is in the guideline for diabetes, we have to follow it. We cannot write new medications all of a sudden कि नहीं तुम्हारे लिए मुझे लग रहा है यही सही होगा. This is not the correct approach, I believe. People may differ also, but it is all about following SOPs and in the correct order of treatment. So in the medical profession, I'll say it is a very systematic approach towards the treatment. And I simply loved it because there is a lot of clarity. Then you don't have to, follow him or her. You are following the guideline, which is the national guideline. This may be a national guideline, this may be a international guideline, whatever guideline is there. And trust me, for every disease there is a guideline.
Now, one general question. So, in our normal general hospitals, we see doctors are flooded with MRs, medical representatives, and their suggested medicines. So, does this apply in the armed forces also? Do you also get flooded?
Not allowed to enter the premises.
Okay. So, there is a prescribed medicine for this disease. This medicine should be given, and you have to give that only. Is it like that?
Yeah, see, 99% time armed forces write generic medicine.
Okay.
For example, if generic is not available or something, we procure our medicine in armed forces. The armed forces procure its medicine themselves. It is not like कि कोई फौजी बंदे को आप नहीं देखोगे कि पर्चा लेके दुकान में जाते हुए.
Hmm.
Because we treat them, we give the medicine also. So we
Okay.
procure the medicine. So this procurement headache is on our side, not on the patient side.
Right. Right. Now, also you mentioned about the mental skills that are tested when you go for the interview. There are 10 to 15
Yeah.
people sitting around and judging your psychological aspects. So, when you say someone has to be perfect in that area, what are the qualities one should possess so that they crack that interview session?
First of all, the most common question that is being asked to everyone, that was asked to me also, why armed forces?
Hmm.
Armed forces इतने पैसे भी नहीं देते. It is not like you will be going. See, the typical mindset of a person who has no exposure to armed forces is like, if you join armed forces, you will get everything free. you will get all free ration, you will get all the medical facilities, you will get alcohol, the fauji daru, and this is a common notion. First of all, the question which was asked to me also, and it will be asked, for everyone, why armed forces? So the common notion, as a civil, from a civil background or civilian, the first thing that comes into our mind is like, Fauj is like all about free ration, free food, free alcohol, all kind of stuff. But that is not true. Let me tell you first this thing. Every officer has a mess bill to pay, and it is not like, free. It is, no doubt, it is subsidized. It is, nothing is free. Number one. Number two is, I have to quote late General Rawat sir, our CDS, previous CDS. What he told is, if you choose armed forces for a job, if you are seeking job, if you are seeking the armed forces as a employee, if you want, okay, I'll do the job and I'll get money, then probably not. This is not the field for you. See, for armed forces, you have to have that passion in you. It is not about like दो मूवी देख लिया, pumped up हो गया, adrenaline rush हो गया, form fill कर दिया. It is not like that, because you don't go for war every day, but the
Right.
discipline is for every day, the training is for every day. You have to prepare for that war which is going to happen someday, on a daily basis. It is very easy to tell, it is very easy to discuss, but it is not easy to practice. We have to be mentally prepared for that, and for the interview you cannot mimic, okay, no, I am very very pumped up, because there will be, if we talk about each other for 1 hour, I hardly believe कि you can hide something from people who are very trained in that. So they'll be
Correct.
discussing with you for hours. So you cannot pretend, I am very pumped up for this. So they will judge your passion. They will judge why you want to join. You don't have to be that person, who can answer everything. They are not they are not ready to take somebody who is best in medicine, but
Mhm.
who is not a ever learner or student. Because if you have that attitude, na, okay, I am a doctor, I have mastered my skills, and now I'll master army or air force or something, they don't need you. There are a lot of doctors, and if they don't have doctors, they will find a lot of doctors. But
Right.
at the end of the day, what they require is a soldier who is ready to fight, who is ready to heal, and they will be trained to kill also subsequently.
Right. So you mentioned that you had to undergo that arm training also, that
Yeah.
revolvers, right? So let's say
No,
hypothetical situation.
revolver is an old thing. We can say pistol.
Pistol. Okay. So let's say there is a hypothetical situation and now there is a war and you are not
Okay.
retired, you are in the army. So is there a
Okay.
possibility that doctors also will be there in the war zone?
See, this is not a
And
probability. It is a fact. It is a fact on a daily basis. Doctors are armed in JNK right now. If today there is a threat to the Agartala MH, why I am quoting Agartala? Because we both stay in Agartala.
right,
My hometown is in Agartala. We don't stay in Agartala. Our hometown is Agartala. For example, today is a imaginary situation. There is a war with Bangladesh.
right,
We are just adjacent country. We are just adjacent to Bangladesh right now in Tripura. So if there is a war, our military hospital will be in top-notch alert, and each of the doctors and all the combatant who are able to fight will be ready to fight. They will
okay,
fight for their country first, and while doing so, if somebody is injured, they will treat also. So it's a added responsibility. It is not, if you have to, it is not about like either you have to treat or either you have to fight. You have to
mhm,
do both. So
right.
doctors are expected and trained in such a way, they should be ready to kill as well as ready to heal.
Okay. That's great line. Ready to kill as well as ready to.
Yeah.
Right. So lastly, before we wrap up today's conversation, so since you got to know about this opportunity to be enrolled in armed forces via various employment news available over newspapers and portals, so someone who is aspiring, let's say someone who is into medical field, just now entered into medical college, for them, if they are willing to enter, so what are the suggestions that you will give them so that they get prepared beforehand itself, so that they plan accordingly?
See, first of all, I'll say there is always pros and cons of a particular thing. And for my case, I always jot it down in a piece of paper. And if pros are more, then I'll go for it. If cons are more, I'll quit it. So, for a doctor, the cons I'll discuss first, because pros, it looks very lucrative from outside. You become suddenly a Fauji officer. Everybody will be like, "Oh my God, you are in army, you are in navy, in air force." This kind of thing. You are not authorized for leave. You are privileged to get leaves. See, it is not always possible to get leaves whenever there is requirement. For example, somebody who is right now in Chennai in armed forces, they'll be dealing with the flood they are having. There'll be flood relief. Their air force, helicopters will be in action. So the doctor, he cannot get a leave for marriage. He cannot. Simply, he cannot. So the thing is, these are the things you have to keep in mind. See, these are the like leaves, and there will be family requirement. There are some very very close friend of mine who is in armed forces, but the problem is parents are, they have medical needs, but always is it's not possible my to keep the parents with them. We all know our parents, right? From Tripura, they are like, no, hum yahi rahenge kind of stuff. So it is not very easy to to tell them ke aap aa jao sab kuch chhod ke mere sath. They'll be like, kisse baat kare, kaise baat kare, what are there will be language barrier, a lot of things. So if there is family requirement of such kind, you have to think twice. If you are that kind of person now, luxury जिसको पसंद है, बहुत सारे doctors, they are like, I love luxury, I like, that kind of job, where I'll go, I'll just treat patient. No, then armed forces is not for you, because there will be certain jobs. You'll be OIC of certain officer in charge of certain, some entry, some exam. Maybe you are
Mhm.
officer in charge of party. You'll be like, oh my God, what I am doing as a doctor? I'm not supposed to do this kind of. Then there will be a contradiction between you, your ethos, and the armed forces, ethos. So in that case, it is always advisable to discuss with somebody who has already gone through it. For example, I have not less than 10 or 20, 15 juniors who have called me. They wanted to join, whether they should join or not. So I have openly discussed with them, okay, these are the pros, these are the cons. Yeah, financially will be stable, but at the same time there will be, you cannot be always uh, adherent to the fact that you are a doctor. Along with the doctor, you are a officer also, so there are certain duties you are expected to do. So this charter of duties will vary from army, navy, and air force, but there will be, other than medical thing, there will be, other duties also. If you are not ready to take those responsibilities, then I believe there will be a tough time if you are selected also.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this episode, if you like the content of this podcast, do hit the like button, share your feedbacks in the comment section, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are listening to this on Spotify or any other audio platform, do rate it, do hit the follow button so that you keep on getting new podcast updates. Thank you. Keep supporting. Bye bye.